Hello and welcome to my January 10th video update. I've been working on recording, getting back to recording the series, learning photography and technology tools that I want to produce episodes for. And it's almost like starting over again, since the last time I did this was back in March, and I've been doing these video updates, and I'm kind of getting the swing of this again. But setting up the lights in this part of the studio over here, so I'm up against a white background, and getting the B-roll recorded and edited properly, it's taking more time than I thought it was. And so the other day I thought I was all ready and I was going to batch produce about 4 or 5 episodes, and I recorded 4 or 5. But after I looked at them, I really wasn't happy with them because I had notes in front of me, but it was down a little bit. You could tell I was always looking down there, and that's not a problem, but I think it's a little distracting, and it's not really the quality that I want. So I'm going to have to redo those. I'm really liking this LumaFusion app that I got last week to edit on my iPad that I'm using now solely for these video update videos. But I'm really seriously considering using it for the other videos as well, for which I was planning to use Final Cut Pro 10. But Final Cut Pro 10, kind of like Photoshop, is a life study. It's not that hard, but and I got into it last year. But I've, again, just like with the videos themselves, or the recording itself, it takes some time to get in the swing again. So I had to debate about that. I got my new MacBook Pro, my 13-inch MacBook Pro, the one without the touch bar, and it is really fast. So that, along with Final Cut Pro 10, makes it a lot easier, or faster I should say, to be able to edit on the MacBook. But the jury's still out. I really enjoy creating things on my iPad, and if I can do that, that'd be great. The only problem really is this kind of asset management. As far as the MacBook Pro, I'm starting out fresh with it. I just registered and all the things that you do when you get a new computer. And I backed up my old 2010 MacBook Pro using SuperDuper, so it's like a clone of the other drive, and I can actually boot from that hard drive, that external hard drive, and have my old computer. So as I find that I need apps or I need files, I move them over to the new computer, so I don't clog up the new computer with things that I probably wouldn't end up using or haven't used for some time on my other MacBook. And I find that to be a decent way to transfer to a new device or new computer. The one downside with this MacBook Pro is that it only has 2 of these new Type-C ports, one for power and then one for something else. And I don't have something else. I lost an SD drive from, because it doesn't have one, and it has no USB port. So I had to order a dongle, and I got this dongle from Apple. It has a USB port, an HDMI port, and then a Type-C if you want to charge using this, or plug in a device that uses Type-C. I don't have any, so I'm not sure what those would be. The nice thing though is I'm glad I did go ahead and get this. It wasn't cheap. I think it was like $49, but I can use this then to connect my MacBook Pro to our TV if on those occasions when I want to do that. I saw David Cox, who has a series on YouTube, recommend the Hutu satellite, I think it's called, but it's a shuttle, that Hutu shuttle. And it's kind of, I wish I'd seen this first, except I am glad I had the HDMI, because it has 3 USB ports and an SD card reader built in, and then a Type-C for charging with this, and leaves a Type-C free on the the 13-inch MacBook Pro that only has 2 Type-C ports. So all that is just another ripple, if you will, in getting a new computer and getting used to new stuff. So really, that's about all I have to share with you this week. I hope to get back to these recordings and pump out some of those in the next week. And I'll be back again with another video update to let you know what's happening here down in the basement of Boo's Photo Learning Center. Thank you very much for checking in.